Hello students, in this video I will discuss the questions along with answer for three chapters, that is reproduction in lower and higher plants, plant water relation and plant growth. So this video is question bank part 1, chapter 1 reproduction in lower and higher plants. The weightage is 6 to 8 marks. The questions can be write a note on sexual reproduction. It is a fusion of two compatible gametes. Function: to produce haploids gamete to ensure fertilization. Then there can be a question on anther. Anther can be monothecous with one lobe. It contains two pollen sac, or it can be dithecous. It consists of two lobes having four pollen sac, that is tetrasporangiate. Or there can be a question: describe the structure of TS of anther. So this is the structure, and the points will be epidermis, endothecium, middle layer, tapetum, sporogenous tissue, connective. Or there can be a diagram, that is figure number 1.4, dehiscent anther. This question can be framed: what is microsporogenesis? Means formation of microspore. Here microspore mother cell undergo meiosis to form four haploid microspore, that is pollen grain. Then the structure of pollen grain or microspore. So you can see this structure. It consists of exine, intine. Exine and intine together called as sporoderm. Exine is made up of sporopollenin. Intine is made up of cellulose and pectin. Then this is cytoplasm, nucleus, and this gap is germ pore. In case of dicotyledon pollen grain, there are three germ pores. In case of monocotyledon pollen grain, there is a single germ pore. Next question can be: describe the development of male gametophyte. So you can see pollen grain undergoes mitotic division to form two-celled structure. It consists of vegetative cell and generative cell. Further, generative cell undergoes mitosis to form two male gametes. When the pollen grain gets deposited on the stigma, it absorbs the sucrose, and intine comes out of the germ pore forming pollen tube. So you can see over here pollen tube, tube nucleus, and two male gametes. This region constitutes male gametophyte. Next question can be on describe the structure of anatropous ovule. Anatropous ovule means inverted ovule, and it is bitegmic. It is made up of two integments. You can see here outer integument and inner integument. The stalk of the ovule is called as funicle. And from micropyle to chalaza is the body of the ovule. The region where funicle get attached to the body of an ovule is called as hilum. Then this is chalaza. From this region arises the two integments. This is the embryo sac, which is 7-celled structure and 8 nucleated. Then what is megasporogenesis? That is formation of megaspore. Here megaspore mother cell undergoes meiotic division to form 4 haploid megaspore. That is megasporogenesis. And next question can be describe development of female gametophyte. So you can see a megaspore mother cell which is diploid undergo meiosis to form 4 haploid megaspore. Out of 4 haploid megaspore, 3 degenerates and 1 megaspore further get nourished by nucellus, which further undergoes first mitotic division to form 2 nuclei, which further undergoes second mitotic division. It forms 4 nuclei, which ultimately undergoes third mitotic division to form 8 nuclei. And these 8 nuclei get rearranged, and which further forms mature embryo set, that is female gametophyte. Then pollination. What is pollination, and write its type? Pollination means transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma of a flower. And pollination is of 3 types: autogamy, geitonogamy, and xenogamy. In autogamy, transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma of an same flower. In geitonogamy, transfer of pollen grain from anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower of the same plant. In xenogamy, transfer of pollen grain from anther of one flower of one plant to the stigma of another flower of another plant. But here, both the plants belongs to same species. Then there are different agents of pollination. If pollination done by water, it is called as hydrophily. Done by birds, it is called as ornithophily. Done by bats, called as chiropterophily. Done by wind, it is called as anemophily. There are different agents of pollination. And here the question can be, write the adaptation of hydrophilous flower, or write the adaptations of ornithophilous flower, or write the adaptations of anemophilous flower. Double fertilization. Here fertilization takes place twice. One male gamete fuse with female gamete to form zygote, process called as syngamy. Second male gamete fuse with secondary nucleus to form pen, that is primary endosperm nucleus. It is called as triple fusion. This process was discovered by S. G. Navasin. Then what are outbreeding devices? Contrivances. These devices are meant in flower to avoid self-pollination and to favor cross-pollination. These devices are unisexuality, dichogamy, prepotency, heterostyly, hercogamy, self-incompatibility, that is self-sterility. So you should know all these outbreeding devices with example. Then there can be a question, describe the development of endosperm. Endosperm formation is of 3 types: nuclear type, cellular type, and halobial type. Then describe development of embryo. You can see a development of dicot embryo and development of monocot embryo. Then describe seed and fruit development. What is apomixis and its type? Apomixis means formation of embryo by asexual reproduction. Then parthenocarpy, that is seedless fruits. Polyembryony, formation of multiple embryos in the seed. Next chapter is plant-water relation, and see the weightage 5 to 7 marks. This chapter will be a scoring chapter for you all. You can see the content. What you have to study is properties of water, water absorbing organ, that is root, structure of root hair, and next topic will be water available to roots for absorption, that is gravitational free water, hygroscopic water, combined water, and capillary water. So let's see the properties of water. It is in liquid form at room temperature, best solvent, inert inorganic compound with neutral pH. Water is best transporting medium for dissolved minerals and food molecules. best aqueous medium, essential raw material for photosynthesis, has high specific heat, high heat of vaporization, and high heat of fusion. Due to this, it acts as thermal buffer. These various properties are due to hydrogen bonds between the water molecules. Water molecule has good adhesive and cohesive forces of attraction due to high surface tension and high adhesive and cohesive force. It can easily rise in the capillaries. It is therefore significant molecule that connects physical world with biological processes. Water absorbing organ, root, main organ of water and mineral absorption. In terrestrial plants absorbs water in the form of liquid from the soil. You can see here. However, epiphytic plants like orchids absorbs water vapor from air with the help of epiphytic roots having special tissue called velamen. So this is epiphytic plant having epiphytic roots. Typical root is divisible into 4 different regions. There is zone of absorption, epidermal cells, epiblema cells, forms unicellular hair-like extensions called root hairs. Structure of root hair. It's a cytoplasmic extension of epiblema cell, approximately 1 to 10 millimeter long and tube-like structure, colorless, unbranched, short-lived and very delicate, has a large central vacuole surrounded by thin film of cytoplasm, plasma membrane and thin cell wall which is 2-layered. Outer layer is composed of pectin and inner layer is made up of cellulose. Cell wall is freely permeable but plasma membrane is selectively permeable. You can see this is the structure of root hair. Water available to roots for absorption. Plant absorbs water from rhizosphere and water present in the soil occurs as gravitational free water, hygroscopic water, combined water and capillary water. So you should know about what is gravitational, hygroscopic, combined and capillary water. Let's see gravitational water. Water percolates deep due to gravity in the soil, which is not available to plant for absorption. Hygroscopic water, fine soil particle imbibes, absorbs water and hold it. Root cannot absorb it. Combined water, present in the form of hydrated oxides of silicon, aluminium and so on. It is not available to plant for absorption. Capillary water. Some amount of water is held in pores present between the neighboring soil particle due to capillarity. It is available for absorption. Then plant growth, again very scoring chapter. Weightage is 5 to 7 marks. And you are studying auxine, gibberellins, cytokinins, ethylene, abscisic acid. So you should know the physiological effect and applications of these plant hormones. Then who discovered these plant hormones? With examples. So the 2 chapters like plant water relation and this plant growth will be a very scoring chapter for you all because maximum part has been deleted. In my second video, I will put the question bank for the remaining chapters of biology.